All right, hey, what's going on? So today's the Wednesday the 7th, and I got some good news. So this weekend I am going to the show. Got some stuff figured out. So tomorrow I'm gonna go get my tabs, and so today I'm gonna spend the remainder of the afternoon, evening detailing my car, get everything situated and put back together. So I'm gonna run you guys through a little bit of that. So as far as the trunk is concerned, to get that all buttoned up, what I have to do is I have to bolt the ECU back into place, which means I gotta pull the valve block off. I'll show you guys that here in a second. And then I gotta, once the ECU is secured, then I gotta secure the valve block. And then I'm gonna go ahead and polish up the copper lines. I'll do a quick rundown on that, quick walkthrough, and then I'm gonna do a little cut scene. I'll polish all the line. I'll show you guys a little before and after on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. But first, make sure I have the essentials. Got a nice full beer here. Got all my tools, all my hardware here. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna turn the car on, disconnect the pressure switch on the back of the tank so that the compressors don't kick on when the air drops below the low PSI setting, and I'm gonna deflate all the air in the tank, and I'll show you how to do that here. All right, so what you want to do first is go ahead and stick your key in the ignition and turn the key into the on position. See all your accessories come on. See the remote lights up like it's supposed to. And what you want to do is I'll hit the all down button in the front, and then I'll hit one corner up. So what it's going to do is it's going to release all of the air while it's putting the air in the system. And that's how you drain your tank if you don't want to pop a line. And I would recommend it doing this way. It's not as noisy. So I'll go ahead and open up the valve. You can hear it click, and then I'll just do this. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but you can hear all the air escaping. You just keep holding this down until you don't hear any more air coming out of the valve block. And if you have a full tank, it's going to take a little bit longer. Got my helper here with me today. Still holding it. All right, it sounds about good. All right, so that's off. Go ahead and turn the key off. Pull the keys out. I'll just set them right there. All right, let's go to the... All right, so here we go. So now what we have to do is we have to disconnect this feeder line to the tank, this feeder line here, and then these four that go to each individual bag. So I have the manifold that has the push connect fittings. I wish I would have got the valve manifold that had these fittings here, but they were threaded. These are actually pressed in, so if the valve fails, you have to send this whole unit back, and they'll either send you a new one or they'll replace the fitting. I'm not quite sure how it works. I haven't had any issues with it, but I'm sure some people have. So, and to get these fittings out, what you got to do is this little gray ring here. What you have to do is you have to push it in and kind of pull out. So when you kind of do it just like that, you kind of got to walk it off. But what I like to do is I like to do these leader lines here first, and that just makes it a little easier because these are way more flexible. As you can see, they got quite a bit of play in them compared to these ones here. So like I said before, you just push that outer ring in, and you just pull that out, and it's out, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and do this one next. Boom, there you go. So, and then now I'll just walk this up just like this. Make sure I do these ones here too. And then you just walk it out just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this valve block off, disconnected, and once that's done, I'll come back. All right, and we're back. So as you can see, I got the valve block unplugged and all the lines are out. Just gonna set this over here to the side. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier is you're gonna wanna go ahead and unplug this here before you take the valve block out, just to make it a little easier so you have some type of leverage, or the valve block's not gonna move when you try to pull this plug out. And all you gotta do is these little tabs here, you have one there and one here. You just push these guys in just like that, and you slide out to the left or to the right or whatever. You just slide it away from the valve block and it'll pop out. So I went ahead and I moved all these lines out of the way. Now I have complete access to hook this back up. Now as you can see, you can see this mounting hole. There's one there, and there's one just across from it here. And then I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Let's see. Yep, there's one there and one right there. So these 4 tabs here with the holes in them, that's where they line up, and they're just held in by these little right here. Let's see if I can get the focus. It's good enough, I guess. There we go. These little Allen type button heads here. That's always, I believe that's a 3 or 3.5. So I'm gonna get that bolted in. And once that's done, I'll hook the valve block back up, and I'll get that all bolted down with, I got 4 of these guys here. Again, another Allen head type bolt. And once the valve block's secure, I'll come back and I'll start polishing the lines, kind of give you guys a rundown on that. And we'll finish up with the trunk here. All right, and there you have it. So you can see I got the 4 mounting bolts here installed. That turned out to be a 4mm Allen, and these 4 that we're holding up the ECU are actually a 3, not a 3.5. I was mistaken. So now that those are all in, everything's plugged back in, everything looks good to go. Now all I have to do is pretty much turn the car on, turn the system on, and make sure there's no leaks, because I do know there's a lot of pressure on these lines here, especially down here at the bulkhead fittings. So once the system fills up with air, I could put air in the bags to make sure there's no leaks, and if there are, I'll have to adjust these accordingly, either up or down, to alleviate the pressure. So I'll do that later. Once I'm finished with the trunk, all I have to do now is go ahead and polish these lines up. I mean, they don't look too bad on the video, but they do clean up a whole heck of a lot better, especially since I've been touching them with, as you can see, my hands are kind of, it's got a little bit of grime on them, so touching the lines definitely takes the polish off of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get some cleaning supplies, just basic, water and a rag, and I'm gonna just wipe these down real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go get some stuff to clean these lines with, and I will be right back. Then we'll get started on polishing these lines. All right. All right, and we're back. So I went and got some, just a tub full of soapy water with some dish soap. I use dish soap because the dish soap in the water actually strips away all the old wax or polish and stuff like that off the line. So it makes it a lot easier to apply new wax or polish, and brings out some pretty good shine. It also gets out, any type of oils or dirts or anything else that might be on the line. So this is something that I found that actually works pretty good. So what you do is, I just got a little rag here. I'll just go ahead and just dip it in the water, get it a little bit wet, and I do this with the lines on the car. So I'll just go ahead and wipe these down, just like this. Just wipe it all the way down. And I will clean it all the way back to the fitting. I'll show you guys the fitting here in a second. But yeah, so I'll just go ahead and clean that. And I'll take the dry side and I'll go ahead and wipe her down. Make sure to get all the excess water off there. All right, and the fitting I'm talking about is right there. You can see it goes into the tank. And I'll clean all the way back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all those done, get them all wiped down real quick, and I'll show you how I polish. Okay, all right guys, I'm back. Just had a quick break, went and ate some dinner real quick. So now that the airlines are all dried off and everything, I wiped them down, they're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and show you real quick on what I do to polish these. Of course, people do different things, and certain things work differently for other people. So what I do, it might not work for you, or it might, I guess you just have to try and find out. So what I did was, when I first did this, the lines came, they were just completely brown, just disgusting. They had no polish on them whatsoever. So after I got everything all bent the way I wanted it to, the way I wanted it, what I did was I polished the lines outside of the car first, and that's what took a while, because I had to get all that oxidation and all that, grime and grease off of them at first, and it took quite a while. But after that, it's been very easy for me to keep the polish up on these lines. Just basically put some polish on a rag once over, take another clean rag, wipe it off, and boom, the polish is back. So it saves me a bunch of time. So having polished hardline, copper hardlining trunks, not as high maintenance as people may think. It's actually relatively very easy. You'll see here in a sec. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll do these two here, and I'll leave these two unpolished. Now hopefully you'll be able to tell the difference in the video quality. So what I do is, and I don't have a specific polish that I use. I use a few different ones. I've used Mother's before. That I've had great, great luck with that stuff. I've also used this polish I bought from Arise. It came in a blue can. It's actually blue, but it smells like ammonia, pretty bad. But it works great. So today, what I'm going to use some aluminum and stainless polish, Metal, I guess. We're going to see how that works out. I've never used this before on copper, so this will be a first for me, and you'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll go get the tub of blue stuff. But, so what I'll do is, let's see if I can do this while holding the phone here. I wonder if I can prop the phone up somehow. Alright, so I'll take the cap off here. Alright, so as you can see, the polish is kind of like if I get it to focus here. It's kind of like a pinkish color. I don't know if you can see that. It probably looks more white in the video. But what I'll do is I'll take my rag, find a clean spot. Alright, so I'll just put it on my finger just like this. And it'll be wrapped around my finger a lot better. But I'll just take the rag, take the polish, and I'll just put a little dab on the, I'll put a little bit on the rag. Probably about that much. So then what I'll do is, I'll set the camera down here for a sec. Alright, so I'll get it wrapped around my finger just like this. And then what I'll do is, so there's the before and after. You can see they're both, all four of them still have, pretty good shine, but in person, they're a little dull. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of rub this on here. I'll get it on there, I'll go from fitting to fitting. Make sure you get all the way around it. And you can see the polish is kind of starting to turn black a little bit. That's good. That's what you want. It means all the tarnish and stuff is starting to come off and everything else. So I'll just sit here and I'll go back and forth. Make sure I get underneath everything. I can already tell you right now, just by looking at these two. You can see I got a little bit right there on the number 2 spot, but number 3 and 4, I can already guarantee you they're going to outshine number 1 and number 2 lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub this in, get all the way up to the fitting. Try to zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right. Now you can see the color difference between this one here, these two, and these two. So let's get all that rubbed in, and then I'll take another rag. I mean, look at that. Look at that, just straight black. Now it's just like if you were going to polish a set of aluminum wheels or a valve cover that's aluminum, or anything. So then I'll take my rag and I'll just go ahead and just wipe all that polish off there. And like I said, go fitting to fitting. You just want to get all the excess off. Switch hands here. Get the underside. And that's the beautiful thing about having these hard lines is, you can just put the rag on both ends like that and polish both sides at the same time. You can do multiple sides, instead of just doing one flat surface at a time. All right, now let's see if we can see a difference here. All right, I think that's gonna be good enough. All right, so off the bat, oh yeah, you definitely tell. So in this one, I can barely see the color of my shirt in the video. On camera, you won't be able to see, but in person you can see. But in this one here, just the quality or the shine on those two lines is just, it's uncomparable. So, and that's all I do. So quick recap, put some polish on your rag, wipe it down, just keep wiping it, and you kind of feel it to get gritty. Some people let it dry. I'll just wipe it down until the rag turns black, just like this. And then I'll take a separate rag, just so you have a polish rag. So you have a polish rag and a cleaning rag. That's how I do it. And then I'll wipe off the excess polish, and then I'm done with it. Then, to be honest, I probably, after I'm done polishing all these lines, these four, that one, and the 2 liter lines on the compressors, I probably won't polish these for probably another 3-4 months, to be honest. Just because that's how good it keeps its, you know, shine, especially being inside my trunk and out of the elements. The only element that it really sees is the wind that comes in. The wind that comes in through the windows, because there's some holes up in the rear deck lid up here that, you know, they have airflow in and stuff like that. But other than that, you know, the hard lines keep their polish, and it's not high maintenance whatsoever. It's just that first initial polish it's just a big pain in the ass. But at the same time, it goes quick though. You just, you know, polish it up, and it takes a few tries, and then boom, you got your shine. Throw them in, do a quick wipe down, and you're done. So usually I'll just give them a quick wipe down. I won't even polish them before a show. So the next show, let's see, I believe is mid-July, I think, and that's in Spanaway. So what I'll do is I'll just take a clean rag and I'll just do a once over on these lines and call it good. But as you can see here, the difference in the lines, I should back up, it's just, you know, the shine's just way better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna polish all these lines. So I got that one, those 2 there, I got that line there, and I got that one off the compressor. I'm gonna shine those up, and then I'm gonna give the floor a quick wipe down, get all my tools and stuff out of here, which is just my T-handles, my beer, my vape, and everything else. Get all that out of here, and the trunk will be done. And then I gotta vacuum the shit out of the interior because it's got dog hair everywhere, as you saw earlier in one of my earlier videos when I did the when I cleaned the seats with that turtle wax stuff. So I got a long way to go. I got to get all this done tonight because tomorrow I'm gonna go pick up my tabs, like I said earlier in the video, and then me and my girlfriend, we're gonna load the car up so that way when we get off work on Friday, we can just come to the house and go. Either that, or we're gonna wait for some people, some other club members to be ready to go, and we're all just gonna drive down together in case somebody breaks down, we can help, or whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna get these all shined up, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, we're back. Got everything all polished up. As you can see, got a nice little shine on everything here, all the way back to the fittings. Hard line's looking pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give this hardwood a good wipe down, just with a dry rag, nothing wet, nothing really gets on this thing. So just want to get all the dust out of here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start on the, man, I don't know if I should vacuum first or do the engine bay. Vacuuming would be louder. I don't know. We'll see. I hate vacuuming. I hate vacuuming my car. So, but yeah, so there it is. Polished hard lines, not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that pressure switch back in, and before I head in, I'll give it a go. I'll fire up the system, and I'll fill her up with air, and we'll see where we go. And again, the polish I used is this right here, metal, aluminum, stainless polish. Works great. I like it. I'm a fan. I give it a thumbs up. So did what I needed it to. Everything's looking shiny. I got a little spot on the compressor right above my fingernail. I got to touch up from when I took it apart. So I think that's gonna wrap up this video, because I don't know, maybe I'll get some footage of me cleaning. I don't know. I don't think anyone wants to watch me clean because I don't like cleaning. So maybe I'll wrap it up here. Maybe I won't. I guess you'll have to find out. Alright, so that's going to wrap up today's video. I'll just give you a quick rundown of what I did. I did a little bit more cleaning off the camera. So I did a little bit of cleaning on the engine bay. I cleaned up all these little fender areas here, and then some of the engine bay. I cleaned off the intake manifold and some of the areas over there. And what I also did, I also cleaned inside the door jambs. I cleaned the wheels out just a little bit just to make it easier when I go down to the show this weekend. I don't have as much cleaning to do. It's basically just do a once over on everything else, and I'll be good to go. And I'm not sitting there having to clean for a few hours on end. I want to get, make sure everything's good to go. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna vacuum the interior tomorrow. I'm gonna try to maybe use some masking tape or something to try to pull up some of this dog hair. I don't know, maybe a lint roller. I've never had to vacuum my car before show season because of dog hair before, so it's a first for me. But yeah, the door jambs here, they were pretty bad. They were dirty, but I just wiped them down real quick. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit them again, maybe with some wax, get them a little shiny and everything else. I got the trunk all done. That's all put back together and situated, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. The only thing I am worried about is the forecast calls for some type of showers, either tapering, scattered, partial, whatever, but they say it's going to rain, 50% chance or so. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time washing the car, waxing it, if it's going to rain, but if it does, that's fine. Name of the game, got to pay to play. So that's gonna, like I said, that's gonna end the video here today. I got a lot done, I feel, today. Maybe not, I don't know. I feel good about it, that's all that matters. Fuck it. So I got a few other things I need to finalize. I'm not sure. I had a custom emblem made for my grill here. So instead of the big Volkswagen sign here, it's I had the guy make the logo of the car club that I'm in to put in the grill. It's in, looks great, but it's not painted or powder coated, whatever. There's no finish on it. It's just raw steel, but on the bottom there's some of that whatever coating they use. Now I haven't decided if I just want to clear that or polish it, then clear it, or paint it, clear it, whatever. So I got to figure that out for tomorrow. Tomorrow's my last day, really, but that will be on. That'll be on for the show. Just give it a little extra touch. The engine bay is a little dirty. I'm not too happy with it. The aluminum valve cover is kind of oxidizing a little bit, but it happens, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I need to give it a good bath. Probably do that tomorrow. I need to take it to a self wash so I can use a pressure washer. It looks pretty bad. It's kind of nasty. Definitely not gonna let it sit this long like I did this time and not clean it. Or I'm gonna invest in a nice car cover and then put a tarp over it. So when show season's done, I can give it a nice detail, clean it, whatever, and then put a car cover it, put a tarp over it, and just let it sit and not have to worry about it, and basically just do a nice once over and call it good, because I hate cleaning cars. Deep cleaning sucks, and that's what I have to do, but it's my fault. So I gotta live with it. It's all good. Learning experience is what I tell myself. It's all learning experiences. So thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content, and I'll see you in the next one.